In this tutorial, you'll learn how to create and configure a new project in ArcGIS Urban. You'll also learn how to associate a web scene with a georeferenced site plan and 3D buildings to a specific scenario. The project we'll create today is called Oakady Pines Retirement Community. In the overview, we'll start by searching for the area the project will be located. In the search bar, type Oakady, South Carolina, USA. When you're finished, click Enter. In the results, select Oakady, South Carolina to zoom to the project location. Click the X button in the search bar to clear the results. Before we draw the project boundary, adjust the view to look something like this. To create a new project, click the Add button in the upper right-hand corner. From the drop-down menu, choose Project. Draw the project's boundary and double-click to finish the shape. Click Add Project in the blue tool header at the top of the view. In the Project Settings dialog box, add a name for your project. We'll call this Oakady Pines Retirement Community. You can also add an address and a description if you have one available. You can also add a thumbnail image and a URL of the project. The URL will show up in the Project Details side panel. You can set the start and the end date and select the current status of your project. Here you can make the project a featured item so it appears first in the content list. Click OK to finish. A new project card and project pin are added to the map. On the project card, you can see the project already has two scenarios, Scenario 0 or existing conditions, and Scenario 1. Scenario 1 can be used to represent new developments within the same plan extent. Once a project has been created, it can be configured. In the project card details, select the ellipses next to the zoom icon and select Configure from the drop-down menu. When configuring a project, we see the same information on the General tab as we saw when we created the project. If you need to update any information, including the project status, you can do that here. There's also two additional tabs, Scenarios and Sharing. Click the Scenarios tab. This is where you can add new scenarios based on existing ones with the Add Scenario button. You can have many scenarios in a project, which is especially useful if you have iterative submittals for a project. You can visualize each submittal using a different scenario. Expand Scenario 1. Under Design Visualization, you have the option to add external layers that represent the project. This could be a site plan, a 3D buildings layer, or a web scene with multiple layers. We'll add a web scene that contains both 3D buildings and a site plan. Click on the pencil icon. Make sure the content search is set to ArcGIS Online. Type in Oakady Pines Retirement Community. Press Enter when you're finished. Select the web scene and click OK to return to project settings. New capacity indicators represent the metrics created by this specific scenario and are input manually. Masking of existing buildings allows you to use your buildings layer to mask out areas where those buildings will no longer exist or where they'll clash with future project buildings. Once you've created one scenario, you can use this tab to add new scenarios or manage the existing ones. Click OK. Now we can see the georeferenced site plan and 3D buildings we associated with Scenario 1 in the view. In this tutorial, we learnt how to create and configure a new project. In the next tutorial, we'll learn how to create a custom indicator to add analysis results and charts to your project.